Hello everyone, good morning. Let's wait for one more minute. I can see people are still joining. So let's wait for one more minute and then we'll start, okay? Give me one more minute. Okay, so let us start. For recordings, it's very difficult during practice. So, okay, so give me +1 if you can see me, see my screen and hear me properly. I'm audible. Okay. So I can see still people are joining. So let me revise a little bit so that we get some more time. So we started with JavaScript programming language. We understood what is programming, why we need a program, what is software. So basically a set of instruction, and to make a program more interactive with user friendly, we need input and output. So we learned about input, how to take input, that is read line. Then we learned about how to provide the output, that is console.log, right? Then we went ahead and learned about arithmetic operations, arithmetic operators being plus, minus, multiply, division, modulus division, and all. Then we little bit proceeded and understood, okay, everything cannot be done in a single statement, single flow. There can be a condition where, depending on the condition, we may have to choose this or that, right? And we introduced a new concept called if condition, and if else, when else can come, else cannot come alone, if can come alone, if is condition, should not put a semicolon after if, semicolon should not be placed in the during the curly braces also, right? At the end of the curly braces also. So anything that comes under if block gets executed only when the condition is true. Only when the condition is true. So what I mean is this statement gets executed. This or any number of statement present inside this block will get executed only if this condition is true, right? Then we understood what is equal to, double less than equal to, greater than equal to, double is equal to, triple equal to. Triple equal to is what? It checks that value and type both. If it is double is equal to, it basically converts the data type into a number and checks if it is equal. It doesn't cares about the type. Okay. So basically it makes you, it returns true even if we compare an integer with a string. If the value is same, it will return true. But if you want to make sure that the value and type is same, you have to use triple is equal to. This is what we have understood and did some program around it. And this is what we have done now. So today we'll start with a new problem in our hand. This is a new problem that I wanted to discuss. And this problem needs a new concept. So first we'll go through the problem and go through the problem statement and try to understand how to solve it. And while trying to figure out how to solve it, basically we will find out what extra we need to learn. Okay. Any doubt till now? All good, right? Give me +1 if all good. Okay. Okay. So this is what the question is. We have 6 pointers, right? To solve any problem. We follow 6 points. What are the 6 points? First one is understand the problem statement. Second one is come up with your own test cases. What is test cases? Basically, sample of input that we expect this program can program can get, this software can get, right? User can provide this kind of inputs as well. That is what we get from sample input, right? So we design some test cases, then we write algorithms, then we convert algorithm into code, actual JavaScript code, then we do dry run, and finally we execute the problem. Yes. And or these operators are making me confused. Can we explain a bit about it? If I get a time, I'll explain it at the end of the class, okay? Maybe we can do a problem around it, so it will become more clear. And please paste these questions to everyone so that when I'm speaking or explaining any question, people will understand which question I'm talking about. So there was a question on the chat that the logical operators and or, how to use it. Okay. So I said, if time permits, I'll do a question around it so that it will be little bit easy to understand. Okay. So now, as per our 6-pointer, let us read the problem statement and understand what it is saying. So it is saying that, what is the question statement says? Given a sequence of integers, given a sequence of integers. Okay, so sequence means more than one. So we will be given more than one integer as an input. Try to understand, the input will be more than one integer, okay? Count the number of odd numbers in the sequence. Count the number of odd numbers in the sequence. Basically, we will be given a number of sequence, like any number, suppose 5 numbers, 10 numbers, and we need to find out how out of these 10 numbers or 5 numbers, how many of them are odd numbers. So yesterday only we did a day before yesterday only we did we understood what is how to calculate even or odd, right? A number is even if it is divisible by 2, right? If a number is divisible by 2 means we are able to form a pair, right? Two pair can be formed and no one is left alone. No one will have to pair with the teacher. So when we go to outing for a class outing, what we do, we form pair, right? And every kid will pair with another one. And if one is left odd one out, so he will have to join with the class teacher, right? So it becomes very difficult to enjoy. So this is what, if pair cannot be formed, that is if it is not divisible by 2, then it is a odd number. Okay. So we'll try it. Is the problem statement clear to you? Right? So try to understand in last class when we understood, we were able to find a number is even or odd. A number. We were able to find whether a number is even or odd. How we were able to find out? What we did at that time, basically we had a number, let num, some number 35, 34, whatever it is. Okay, this was some number we had, and this can be read from the input file also, right? You understand. In that case, if I want to read it from input file, then what I'll do parse int, right? Read line. This is what I'll have to do. But for understanding, let me keep it with simple input, right? So when I have a number, how to find whether this number is divisible by? Please explain once more, please. Problem statement. Do you want me to explain problem statement? Please respond, Saurav. Is it problem statement or anything else? Problem statement. Okay. Okay. So see, try to read the problem. Okay. What it says, given a sequence of integers. So I'll be given with more than one integer. Sequence means what? More than one, right? Given a sequence of integers, count the number of odd numbers in the sequence. So basically, the input looks like this. It will give us this number of sequence of numbers, integers, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and this will give us the count. How many numbers has been provided to us? It has a special meaning. I'll explain you why it is needed, but let us not go there right now. So once I have this sequence, basically I need to find out how many of them are odd. So is 8 is odd? Does 8 is odd numbers? No, right? It is an even number. So I should not count this. Is 77 odd? Yes, 77 is odd. So one odd number. 24 odd? No. 22 odd? No. 27 odd? Yes. Why? Because these are not divisible by 2. Not divisible by 2, right? So basically, in this sequence of 5 integers, how many of them are odd numbers? 2 odd numbers, right? Out of these 5 numbers that is given to us, 2 numbers are odd, right? Saurabh, are you able to get it? Yes. So this is what we need to do. We will be given a sequence of numbers, and we will need to find out whether these numbers are odd or not. Okay. We need to find out the number of count of the number of numbers which are odd. Okay. So for the people who joined late, I think 10 people joined late. So I have not done anything. We were discussing this problem. We started with this problem. Before that, I revised, nothing more. So nothing is lost. Concentrate here. This is a problem we were trying to solve. So it says that given a sequence of integers, count the number of odd numbers in the sequence. Okay. So in last class, what we understood is how to find a even and odd number, right? We did a problem. How we did? I will have a number like this, and then what I should do? I should check a condition. What condition I should check? I should check whether number is divisible by 2 or not. This tells me whether the number is even. But I'm not interested in even, right? I am interested whether it is not able to divide, whether it is odd, right? So basically, I should have like this, right? Not equal to 0. That means what? If it is not equal to 0, then I can say console.log what? Console.log what? Odd, right? Number is odd. Do we all agree? Do we all agree? Right? This is how I can say whether the number is odd or not. Right? Now, if suppose I need to do this for multiple numbers. Now, suppose I want to do this for multiple numbers. Users say, okay, boss, I have another number. Let num2, num1 is equal to 34. And he will say, can you find it for me? So what I will have to do? I'll have to write again if condition. Do you agree? I'll have to write this condition again for num1, right? I will have to write this again. I'll have to say console. If it is divisible, it is odd number. Else it will be even number, right? Suppose he asks me for another number, then what I'll do? I'll again have to do this. Num2 is equal to something. And if condition away, again I'll have to write, right? Do you agree? Do you agree with me? Any doubt here? So basically this statement, this line number 26 to 30 is repeating for every number, isn't it? Is repeating for every number. I'm making sense, right? I can see that it is repeating for every number. Every time a person gives me a number, I'll have to what? I'll have to run a for loop, repeat these lines of code. How many lines of code? 3 to 5 lines of code, right? So when there is a repetition, JavaScript provides a tool. The tool is called tool or you can say loops, actually. A way to handle these things, and that is called loops. That is called how to handle this. We should not write duplicate code. This is a duplicate code. I should not write this duplicate code. Okay, I should not write this duplicate code. Why I have written this? Just to explain that what I can solve using a for loop or a loop. Okay, so what is a loop? Try to understand what is a loop. A loop is something which tells us, if it can help us to run something or to do something, some task in a repeated fashion. Okay. Now, while you are using loop, you have to be sure that when to stop, right? Otherwise, you will keep on looping in a loop, right? Infinite loop. You have heard about infinite loops? A dog trying to bite his tail, right? Continuously, he's trying to bite his tail and he's not able to bite his tail and he keeps rotating like this. Grrr. I have seen lot of videos on YouTube, right? Funny videos. When a dog tries to bite his tail and keep on repeating, right? So what is infinite loop? We stuck into something. So if I go ahead and execute this task infinitely, then that will be a infinite loop, right? So basically loops are what? Loops are a way to do a task repeatedly. Now, when we use loop, basically we should know when to exit, when to start and when to exit, right? This is very important, when to start and when to exit. Now, if you remember, when we were in primary classes, right? 3-4 classes, teacher used to come and we were playing. So teacher used to come and get the naughtiest boy out in front of everyone and say, do uthak baitak, 1 to 10. Do uthak baitaks. Then he will ask teacher, how many times, right? Teacher will ask, how many times? So teacher will say, okay, you have to do it from 10 times. When she says 10 times, basically what she is saying? She is saying basically you need to do a operation here, uthak baitak operation 10 times, right? Now it is upon that kid how he start counting. Do you think if he don't count how many times he has done, he will enter in an infinite loop, isn't it? Right? Do you agree? So he will have to count how many times he has done sit-ups, or how, why we not use else? No, we can else, you can use else, okay? You can use else. I just wanted to explain, that's why I didn't put it. This is just for explanation, that's why, okay? If it is confusing you, I'll put else, okay? I just wanted to explain the concept. That's why I didn't put it. Please follow my examples, okay? I'm trying to explain and try to form a picture in your head what is happening, and you will be able to correlate. So when this kid is doing uthak baitak 10 times, so what he will do? He will first start counting. Now it depends on him where to start, whether he will start from 1, whether he will start from 10, whether he will start from 20, whether he will start from 50, 100, whatever he can do, right? Basically, he need to do it 10 times. So one boy will come and start from 1, counting start from 1, and he will do 1 sit-up, he will say 1, then he will do again 2, 3, 4, 5. And whenever he is doing, he every time checking a condition. Did I completed 10 times? Isn't it? In his head, he will check. 1, is it 10? No. 2, is it 10? No. 3, is it 10? No. So when he becomes 10, he breaks the loop and he stops. Are you agreeing? Do you agree with me? So basically, we are doing two things. First thing, initializing, starting from some place. And every time we are checking a condition, whether the breaking condition is hit or not. If the breaking condition is hit, we come out of the loop. If breaking condition is not hit, we increment the counter. Do you all agree this concept or not? We start from some position, 1. We check whether 1 is equal to 10. No, I'm still not at 10. So basically, I'll do one more time and then increment. I'll go to 2. Then again, I'll check counter. Is it equal to break and continue? Don't worry about that. I'll come there. Don't go there. First, understand loops. The loops means way to do the task repeatedly and check the condition. Basically, the task is to do a task repeatedly. And how to run a loop? Basically, we should initialize a counter. We should check condition and then increment the condition. If you don't increment, suppose the guy is the child that came forward forgot to increment. So he will do what? 1 sit up, 1 sit up, 1 sit up. He doesn't incrementing his counter. Then what he's doing? He's entering into a infinite loop, isn't it? But sir, after yesterday you explained that we use if else condition more than one time only in nested. Yes, but the input is when checking the condition. See, try to see the difference. Okay, what is this question? Okay, there is a question here. Why we need loop? Why can't we do multiple if condition and nested condition? I'll explain with a real life example. Okay, suppose your mother says, we understood if else using mother asking us to buy sweets, right? So let us go to that example. So try to understand, when when my mother told me to go to SOP A, SOP B, SOP C, she gave me three options. Go to SOP A, SOP B, SOP C. If SOP A is closed, then only go to B. If SOP B is closed, then only go to C, right? So I went there and I checked. I went to first what? I went to first SOP A. I checked, is it open? If it is open, I buy and return. I do not go to the SOP B and SOP C, okay? If any condition is hit, I do not check for other condition. If SOP A is closed, I go to SOP B. Okay. If SOP B is closed, I go to SOP C. This is condition. But suppose my mom sends me 10 times to buy 10 items. Suppose my mom sends me to buy same sweets, other sweets, 10 type of sweets 10 times. So I'll have to do this visiting of A, B, C shop 10 times, isn't it? Do you agree? 10 times for different kind of sweets, right? So this problem has to be solved by loop. Doing the same task, checking the condition multiple times for multiple sweets. So that there it comes the loop problem, because I'll have to check A, B, C multiple times for every sweets. I come for sweet one, my mom said go and buy sweets. When I go ahead, sorry, I bought A or B or C, I got any one of them and I bought a sweet and came back. After some time, mom said, okay, one will not be enough. You go for second, buy this sweet also. I go ahead, again, I'll have to check from A because there may be chances that the A has opened or A was already opened. So I'll go, but some reason A got closed, then I'll have to go to B, like that, right? So this is the difference between if condition and loops. Loops are something which help us do a task multiple times. Loop itself doesn't do anything. Loops only helps us do a task multiple times. Okay. So I'll back to the my previous example that I was explaining. So the guy was doing a sit-up and he forgot to increment his counter. What he will do? He will keep on counting, keep on doing his sit-up, right? 1, 2, 3. No. 1, 1, 1, 1, 1. He will keep on counting. He will keep on checking. 1 is equal less. 1 is equal to 10. No. Why 1 is not equal to 10? Because he's incrementing the counter that he's using. He's not incrementing it, right? You can get it, right? If we don't increment the counter, we will keep on same place and he will keep on doing sit-ups and he will not be able to reach the breaking condition. What is the breaking condition? What is the breaking condition? The breaking condition is he should do it for 10 times, right? Do you all getting it? Are you able to picture it? Same thing happens in our case, okay? Same thing happens in our case. So what happens in our case? Basically, we use for loop. There are different kind of loops, okay? For, while, do, while, and other kind of, but today we are concentrating on for loop, okay? So for loop, I'll tell you the syntax, okay? How for loop is used. So as we know, there should be some initialization. So this is the body of for loop, okay? The first statement we do is initialization. What is initialization? We are starting from some position. One kid started from 1, one kid came and he started from 10, 10, 20, 30, 40, 50, 60, 70, 80, 90, 100. So what he's doing? He's started from 10 and he's incrementing 10 at a time. So depending on that, condition will change. Instead of checking whether I have done, whether in counter is equal to 10, I'll check whether counter is equal to 100, right? Sir, say types of loop and explain each by each, sir. No. I cannot explain each every in the single class, okay? I'll take one and explain one, then go to the next one in the next class, okay? I'll explain for loop today. We are going to learn about for loop today. So first thing is we need to do is initialization. Please see here, I have put a semicolon here. Please see here, I have put a semicolon here. Syntax is semicolon, okay? Then condition. What condition? Breaking condition. Where I should stop. Where I should stop. Condition. Making me mad. Condition. Okay. Third thing is increment. Okay. This is the syntax of for loop. You should not put a semicolon here. You should not put a semicolon here. Okay. Then in that case, what happens? Again, this body becomes outside the for loop and this will not be executed multiple times. So you should not put a semicolon here. Please be sure. I've seen people making this mistake. Okay, now let us come to our example. So somebody came, the child who was punished with doing a uthak batak, what it will do? Basically, he will run a for loop for and initialize a value. Suppose he take a value called I, a variable, okay, and he says you start from 1, okay, and I will do this task, whatever task I'm doing, I'll do it how many times? 10 times. So basically, I should check whether I is equal to 10 or not, and I plus plus increment by 1, and do what? Do uthak bathak, right? Do you agree? This is how he can do one of the type. Another child came and he said, okay, I'll be little creative, and what I'll do, I'll start what happened? I'll be little creative and I'll start from 10. I'll start from 10. So when he starts from 10, the initialization will be 10. Do you agree? Initialization will be 10, right? Once he is 10, and if the condition remains 10, I'll break in first condition only, right? This condition met. I less than equal to 10. Yes, one time he will do uthak batak, next time he will come, he will increment the value. So basically, this has to be changed depending on what is increment. If I'm incrementing by once, I'll have to say 20, right? This is I will have to control. So I'm starting from 10 and I'm incrementing by 1. So the breaking condition has to be 20, 11, 12, 13 till 20 I'll have to count. But suppose some kid came and he said I'll start from 10, but I'll do a increment by 10. Increment by 10. So in that case, my condition will be I should be less than equal to 100. Do you all agree this uthak batak problem? So basically what happens, I come here, how for loop works, I come here, I do the initialization. So for loop works like this, okay? For loop works like this. First step, when I enter in the for loop, I do the initialization, okay? Initialization. So I initialize my counter. I initialize my counter, okay? Then do what? Check condition, whether I have met my condition or not. If condition is not met, if condition is met, then I go inside the for loop. That is, here I check a condition, means what? I check whether the condition is true or not. I is less than equal to 10. If it is true, then I will go inside this loop. I'll go inside this loop and do whatever is present here. So in this case, if condition is true, what should I do? If true, then execute the body of loop. Execute the body of loop. For else, come outside of the loop. Come outside of the loop. Right? Here, when you execute the body, the fourth step should be do the increment. Do the increment. And fifth one will be again tested. Again, it will be tested and checked if until unless it become else. Basically, we will have to break it. In line number 14, check the condition. I is less than equal to 19. Sir, only we wrong batak or console.log. Yes, we will do something. I just wanted to tell you what is the task he is doing. Okay, this task can be calculating even or odd. So here I was doing this for multiple times, right? This. So how can I change it? How can I change it? Suppose I want to calculate odd and even for 5 numbers. How to do it? So can I convert this code like this? Suppose 5 times I want to do, so I'll say for you start from 1, I is equal to 1, and you count till 5 and increment 1 by 1. So now what happens? Once I have this for loop, anything that is placed inside this body will be executed multiple times. Here, whatever it is there will execute 5 times. Do you agree? Will execute 5 times, right? Any doubt here? This will execute 5 times. This will execute 5 times whatever I put here. So what I'll put here is I'll put this logic, the condition to check the even or odd, right? Even or odd. Do you agree? And instead of 35, I'll say you read it from 5. You read it from 5. Do you agree? And let me declare a variable I is equal to, or let it be I. Did you understand any doubt here from line number 25 to 25 to 34? Any doubt here? Sequence means, sir, we put the value in single line, or please repeat again. Okay, I'll do it. Sequence means we put the value in single line or 1 by 1. Anything. Right now, the problem says it is in a single line, but even sequence bit were repeated more than 1. Okay. How you present it, it's yours idea. The sequence doesn't tells you whether it will come in a single line or multiple line. Sir, in line 25, variable is not declared. No, 25. I'm declaring this variable, right? I'm not assigning any value. So in that case, what will be the value of I? After 25 line, what will be the value of I? Tell me. We already know this. After line number 25, what will be the value of I? No, undefined, right? If anything is not, value is not put into a variable, then JavaScript puts a undefined value. So if I print this I value here, if I do console.log here, console.log I, basically I'll get undefined, right? Not 0. Yes. So here it else should be there. Put a else, copy this else and put it there. Now it becomes complete, whether even or odd, right? Any doubt here in this program? Line number 25 to 29, 39. Can we use let num input line outside the loop? See, if you use this line, see, there is a question, can we use this outside the line? Okay. Why we used line 29 inside the loop? Tell me, why do you think I need this line inside the loop? Yes, I'll run the program. Why I need this line inside the loop? Because I need to read the number multiple times. Do you agree? I need to read the numbers multiple times. If I put this line outside, this statement will get executed only once. Do you agree? Now line number 27 executed only once. It will execute only once, and we will end up with number is equal to one number, either 35, 36 or whatever. So please dry run. Yes, I'll run the code and dry run. I'll do that. Do you agree with me? This line 27 should not be at this place. It should be, what did I do? This line should not be here. How many of you are agree with me? This line has to be here on 30th line, right? I think, sir, can we array? Yes, you can use array. That is different thing. Try to understand loop, okay? Do you agree? This has to be here because if I put here, my number will be, suppose I read 35. And every time in this loop, the number will be always 35, isn't it? This number will be always 35. But if I do read the file here, basically I'm every time reading a file. So first time it will be 35 or something. Let me put the input file. Let me create an input file. Suppose 35, then 28, then 13, then 43. Okay. This is my input file. Okay. Let me run this program. Control S, test 33. Test 33. Okay. Nothing is there. All commented. Yes. I'll try run this. Okay. I'll try run this. Let me first execute and then try run. So do we need to do split for that input? Is the input in a single line? When I read the first number, can I convert into integer? Can I do it? Ask the question. Can I do direct conversion of this number? Yes, because this is a single number, right? So I do not need a split. But if the number had the input is in a single line, then I would have need to do a split. Right now, I got the output like this. So here I don't need to. For this example, I do not need a split. Yes, I'm not solving actual problem. When I'll solve actual problem, we'll go there. Don't worry about that. Okay. It's just an example to understand for loop. It's just an example to understand for loop. Okay. Node test 33. Okay. And it takes input as input file. It creates problem. Where it creates problem? So, okay, I'm running for 5 times, and how many numbers I have? I have 4 numbers. So let me put another number, 25, and then try. Again, problem. What is the problem? Read line is not defined. Acha, I have not copied the code, right? See how I'm checking read line is not defined. So I need to copy these lines. So I'll copy my lines here. Okay. Now it printed something odd even. How many times or what he is printed? Let us see again. So first odd. So let us run the code again. Okay. Let us dry run this code. Please follow me. I'll dry run this code. So I declare a variable. I come here inside the loop. I initialize to 1. I check the condition. Is the I less than equal to 5? Is it true? I less than 5, right? When I is equal to 1, I is less than equal to 5. Yes, true. So I come inside it and I read the file. Parseint, I'll read the file. So what is the file? I'll read 35, right? So my num will become 35. I come here, I check num not divisible by 2. Yes, it is not divisible by 2. So I print odd. Do you agree? I print odd. And this part will be skipped. This part will not get executed because if condition is hit. So I come here and do what? Increment the value. So my value becomes 2. I value becomes true. I increment the value. I becomes 2. I come here, I check. I is less than I is less than 5. Yes. I is 2, which is less than 5. So true. Condition holds true. Then I come inside and read the file again. When I read the file again, what is the number I get? 28 I get, right? 28 I get. So the number is num is equal to 28. When the num is 28, here, num is 28. So I'll check here. 28 modulus 2 not equal to 0? No, it is equal to 0. So this condition will not get executed. Do you agree the condition is false? The condition is false. Sir, if I use odd condition in the else, Yes, not a problem. Then if you want to change the condition, use here equal to and change the odd and even, right? So even will get printed. Then again, I increment the value to 3, for loop to 3. I come here, I read the file again. What is the file? File is 13. So my num becomes 13. I come here and check the number. 13 divisible by 2. No, it is not divisible by 2. So this condition holds true, right? And I get odd and I increment the value to 4. I come here, I read the file 4th time, it is 43. So my read line will have 43 now. Once it has 43, I come here and check 43 modulus 2, remainder is 1, right? Remainder is 1. So this condition holds true. I'll print odd. I increment the value once more and read the file. I increment the value to 5. 5 is less than equal to. See the equal to sign. Less than equal to. Yes, it is equal to. So I should read the file for 5th time. 25. So my 5th number is 25. 25 modulus 2 is 0. No, it is not equal to 0. So this condition holds true and I print odd. And come out, increment the value to see. Now what is I here? I is 6, right? I is 6. 6 is less than 5? No. This time the condition is false. So basically I come out of the loop. When the condition is false, I'll come out of the loop. Can you repeat please why we are using I less than equal to 5? Because see, there is a question on the chat that why here a condition is I less than equal to 5. So what is the task I want to do? This is what? This is a task I'm doing, right? This is a task I'm doing. How many times I need to do this task? Sir, if we input count is more than what we can count. What if input count is more than what we can count? I didn't got your question. Can you reform it? Say it in other words. So the question is, try to understand this question. Why I have condition is less than equal to 5? Because I want to do this task, whatever XYZ task here. I want to do this task how many times? 5 times. Now, as we discussed in this, the kid can decide how he wants to count, whether he wants to count from 1 to 10, 10 to 100, 20 to 30, it depends on him. So I can choose how many, this loop has to run 10 times, right? 5 times. I need to run this body 5 times, right? I need to run whatever present here, I need to run it 5 times. So my loop should run 5 times. So I can decide what, if I start from 0, what will be the condition? How many times? What will be the condition I need to, if I need to run 5 times? Tell me. It should stop before, it can be either less than equal to 4, or I can say, please concentrate here. I can say, let it be 5, but stop before 5, right? Stop before 5. Do you agree? Stop before 5. 0, 1, 2, 3, 4. Stop. I have counted 5 times, right? Or somebody says, I'll increment by 2. I'll increment, not increment by 1, I'll increment by 2. So what he will do, he will say, okay, I plus 2. And in this case, what will happen? 2, 2, 2, 2, like this it will count, and it has to be less than 10. Do you agree? How I will change? How I will change? In that case, how I will change? I will first become equal to 0, 0, then it, I will first become 0, then it will become 2, then it will become 4, then it will become 6, then it will become 8, then 10. So at 10 it will break, here it will break, it will be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 times. Explain 37 line, please. That is what I'm doing, right? That is what I'm doing. Not 5, but if 1002 and we don't know what 1002 from input file. Not 5, what if 1002 and what if 1002 and we don't know what, no, that's 1002 from input file. I'm not sure what you are asking. Are you asking about whether we don't have this number, this condition number 10? condition is less than equal to 5, but input file only 4 numbers given. Why shows error? Because you are trying to read a file which is end of file. It doesn't have data and you're trying to read the file. That's why it is giving error. The question was, suppose the number, we have the number only 4 numbers and we are trying to read the file 5 times. So basically you are trying to read a file which doesn't have a value. So it says I'm trying to read, the compiler says I'm trying to read which doesn't have a value. It complains, right? I is because what? Because not 5. What do we do when we don't? What do we do? There was the question. What do we do when we don't know how many numbers are there in? That will be break condition will be used, but I'll come there later. Okay. So there can be, see guys, there is a question that suppose I do not know how many times I need to break. How many times I need to do the operation? How many times? So in that case, let us check our example. In a teacher came and he saw a kid standing on a table. He will say, come out of the table, stand in front of the class, and you keep on doing till I say stop. Keep on doing uthak baitak till I say stop, right? This is the example switch there. Yes, Raj, you are correct. Because we are taking the number in input, that's why. No. Right now, I wanted to run it 5 times. That's why I do it. Yes, when we will solve this problem, this will be actually this will tell us how many times I need to run the loop. Okay, you are correct in this for this problem. Yes. Who asked this problem? If not known, Dinesh. Is it clear? Suppose the teacher came and he said, "You do uthak baitak, and I'll tell you when to stop. You do it." So basically, teacher will say stop. Similarly, we'll have something to say stop when some condition is hit. Okay, when something is read. Please tell how to create the input file. How to create an input file? Okay, I'll create a new input file. I'll close this one. I'll create a new input file. Okay, for you. Is it clear, guys? Whatever I've discussed till now, loops. Are you able to draw a picture in your mind how loop works? Everyone, please give me +1 if you are able to understand. Okay, so I'll remove this code. Okay, I'll remove this code or copy somewhere else, so that if somebody wants to get this as a notes, then I can provide that. Okay, I'll copy it somewhere else so that we can solve our actual problem that we have in our hand. Right. From here, I need to Control X and put it here. Okay. So concession is done. This problem. Okay. Sir, please paste if on Slack. Yes, I'll paste it over Slack. You can ping me directly. Actually everyone doesn't needs this, right? So I cannot put it in on a channel. So you ping me directly. I'll paste you on that chat. So let us solve this problem now. So given a sequence of integer, count the number of odd numbers in the sequence. We understood the problem. Second thing, what I need to do, we need to come up with test cases. So what is this input? Let us read the input. First line contains the positive integer, say n, denoting the length of the second line containing n space separated bar. Basically, first line tells how many numbers will be present in the sequence, right? So think if you are not taking numbers in input, then how we will write code? No. I was giving example. That's why I was not taking an input. Okay. I was telling that suppose I need to run it 5 times. Suppose I need to run it 5 times, then how I will do it. That is the assumption before solving that example. Okay. Here we have the condition. First line tells me the size of sequence. How many numbers will be present? Okay, in the sequence. Are you getting what is n? First line. Give me +1 if you're able to understand. The first line will tell us what? How many numbers are present in the sequence. The sequence on which we want to find how many of them are odd numbers, right? Second unit, space separated integers. Okay, and output on line, one line containing an integer denoting the number of odd numbers in the input. So I'll be given like this 5. Basically 5 is what? 5 tells how many numbers are present in this sequence. And in this sequence, basically I need to find out how many of them are odd. So 2 odd. So another example, another test case can be, I can get 7 numbers. If I have 7, I should have 7 numbers here. 3, 45, 1, 6, 8, 10. So how many numbers I have? 4, 6. One more number is required. Suppose 20. Yes, first line can be anything. I need to read it, and depending on that number of times, my for loop should run. My condition should run in that way. Okay, so that my loop runs that number of times. Either 5, either 7, either 20, even 20 or 100, whatever. But I'll not take 20 because I'll have to give 20 numbers in the sequence. I'll take something like 3. Then 3 numbers, 11, 20, 30. So second step is clear. We are able to come up with 2 new test cases. Do we all agree? Give me +1, give me +1, guys, if you all are with me. Okay. Now third thing is write the algorithm, right? Let us come with, acha, I need to give the output also. So here, how many odd numbers are there? 1, 2, 3, 3 odd numbers, right? So third, 3 will be the output. And here, how many odd numbers? 1 odd number. So 1 should be printed. Now algorithm. So let us come up with algorithm. How to solve the problem? First thing, what I need to do? I need to read the length of sequence. Do you all agree? I need to read the length of sequence, right? Once I have the length of the sequence, run for loop till, suppose say n, So till start a for loop to run n times, right? I need to start a for loop that runs n times. What is n? N is the number I have read from here. Do you agree? For all programs, basically it depends whether you have the, depending on the input, right? If the input is given like this, we should read it. How many length? What will be the length of the sequence? Okay. It will be 7. I is equal, no, I will not be 7. I will not be, I is the increment value, right? Condition is what? Where is the condition? Condition is this. I should be less than 7, less than equal to 7. If n is 7, here, if n is whatever n is, n should be put into the this, right? This condition, right? I need to stop there. Before that, we need to read sequence of yes. First, we need to sequence will be read multiple times, right? Yes, you are rightly pointing out, right? Before we need to read, so take I is equal to some integer. Yes, I'll convert it. Acha, that way you want to do it. Okay. So I read the number. Now see the input file. Let me design the input file. There is a question like how to create the input file. Okay. So see, I'm creating a new input file. Okay. I'm creating a new input file. I'm going here, select here, and pasting my input file. What is my input file? This is my input file. This is my content of input file. So I'll paste it here and I'll save, Control S. And this is my input. Input1.txt, suppose. Okay. And this has to be normal file. This cannot be a, wait a minute. Give me a second. Okay, so I need to save as a normal file. Where is normal file? Txt tx. Where is the extension? All files you can save. Save. See, I got my file. Okay. Now it is a JS file. Why it is a JS file? Saving as JavaScript. Better to create like this. Text doc. Plain text is there, huh? Plain text. Plain text. Plain text. Plain text is there here. Right. So name it as input. Okay. Input one. Save. Yes, save. Again, convert it into JS. There is some setting that I'm missing. Okay. Yes, now it created. See how it created. Okay. So change the file name and put plain text. Yes, that worked like that. So here, then save the file. Control S, save the file. Type plain text. Plain text. So it will give you save as type plain text. And here you type the name of the input file .txt. Now it will save you a txt file. Okay. This saves you a txt file. Is it clear now? Again, it is making it as JS file. ठीक है, रहने दो, क्या problem? No sir. What no sir? It's already exists, so it cannot work as. Create a new file, save the file, Control S, go to this plain text, and name something different. Input3.txt. Okay. So we were writing this algorithm. Okay. Let us go to the algorithm. So read the number of sequence ends, the first line and right. Now here I will have to read only once. In last example, when I had the multiple files, the sequence in new lines, I had to read it multiple times. But here I need to read it once. Guys, can you understand why I need to put the input file? So here in this program, where is my program? Here I need to put this parseInt inside the for loop. Why? Because my input was in a new line. My input was in a new line. I needed to check. I needed to read multiple times to get the sequence. Are you guys getting? The input was like this, right? So I needed to call read line multiple times. I needed to call my read line multiple times. That's why my read line was inside the for loop. But here in this example, I do not need to read it multiple times. Why? Because I can read it in a single read line. So when I do read line here in the second statement, read the sequence. When I read the sequence, basically I read the complete sequence in a single string. Do you agree? I will read the complete sequence in a single line. This complete sequence will be read in the second read line. This read the sequence. Give me +1 if you agree. Guys, are you able to get it? Right? See here, when try to see the difference between two inputs, okay? Earlier, when I had like this, to read the sequence, I needed to call read line again and again. Do you agree? I need to call read line again and again to read these lines because everything is present in a new line, right? If it is in a single line, I can read it in a single statement. So when I read this, basically I'll read like this. So here it will be like this, right? Sequence will be like this. So next step is what? Split the number. Split the string into multiple string. Right? Split the string into multiple string. Once I have the array, once I have them in an array, basically I should run over the array, right? I should run over the array to solve this. Yes. So basically now for each element, for each string, the string that I have got after splitting, for each string, what I need to do? I need to check if the number is odd, then count, increment the count. Increment the count. Count will start from 0, where you started from counting from 0. This will become more clear when we display the count. This will become more clear when we convert it into code. Okay, let me go ahead and convert it into code. 046 line, how it got to 0th line? There is no 0 line in input file. 0 line, where is 0 line? How I got to 0th line? 04 in 02468. No. You are confusing the things. Where I was here. So when I started with 0, basically this is counter. Okay, this is not input. This is counter that I'm using to read the to execute this multiple times. This is not input file. Okay, line number. This doesn't denote 0th line. This denotes value of I. I can contain anything, right? No string will not be treated as a number. We'll have to convert them into integer using parseInt. Sachin, are you getting it? This was value of I. This is not sequence. Okay, sequence is stored in number. Okay. So this is my algorithm. Next step is convert it into a code. Okay. So let me read first one. Let n, right? N is what? Number of size of sequence. So what should I do? I should read it. Read from line, right? Read line. Now this is a number, so I need to convert it into parseInt. This is a number, so I have to convert it into parseInt. Then what I need to do? I need to get the sequence. So let sequence is equal to what? Let sequence is equal to read line. Read it from the file. Once I read it, here, what is the value? 5 is the value for this one. N is equal to 5. And this one is what? What I have read from the input file. This I have read from the input file. Okay. Do you agree this is a string that I have read? So what should I do? I should say let sequence, no, not let, it is already defined. So sequence is equal to read line dot, not read line, sequence dot split. Split from where? Split from space. So after this statement, what will be the sequence value? It will be an array like this, 8, 77, 24, 22, 27. Do you all agree till now? Can we create a read line 1 and read line 2? No. Read line 1, read line 2, you cannot do, because when you do read line, when you call read line again, basically it will go ahead and read the file once more time. But I do not have a third line. Do I have a third line? Guys, there is a question, can we call read line for third time? No, there is no third line, right? So in that case, it will throw error. I cannot go ahead and read third line for the third time. There is only 2 lines. So I can call read line 2 times. First time it will read the sequence, number of sequence, and second line it will read the sequence. So here sequence looks like this, right? Do you all agree? Am I clear till now? Give me +1 if I am clear, if you are able to understand till now. We can use split in line of 54. Yes, you can use split in line of 54, not a problem. Now do what? Now I need to run a for loop, because I need to do it for all these numbers, right? All these numbers. When you will learn array, basically there is a length function associated with the array, and you can run a for loop depending on that. But right now I'm not going by that. I'll go by simple for loop. Okay. So I need to do some task multiple times. What I need to do? So basically I can check if first string, how to get the first string, this string, how to get it? You know this, index 0, right? Index 0. So basically if I say sequence 0, it will give me what? Sequence 0 will give me what? Tell me quickly. Will give me 8, right? But this is a string. So instead of doing this so let me say like this, num is equal to parseInt, or num is equal to sequence 0. So what will give me? It will give me 8. Do you all agree? It will give me 8. So as a string, so I need to convert this into integer. Convert this into integer. Then what it becomes? Tell me what it becomes. Integer 8, right? Value, right? Then I can check if num modulus 2 is not equal to 0. then it is what? Then it is what? Odd number, right? Console.log odd. But wait, I do not need to print it. I need to count it, right? I do not need to print it. I need to count it. Sir, array contains only positive index. Yes, it cannot contain negative index. You will learn in detail in line number 57 %. Line number 57 %. Yes. What is the problem with this line number 57? Spelling. Acha, %. Okay. Sorry. Thanks for pointing out. Okay. So I do not need to print the value. Do I need to print the whether it is odd or not? I need to count it, right? So I need a variable to count the number of odd numbers. So let us go and declare a new variable. Let us go and declare a new variable. Suppose let count. This count is just a variable which will tell me how many times I have found a odd number, odd count. You can name it as odd count. Odd count. So basically, initially it will be 0. I do not have any number which I have encountered as odd number, right? Y cannot take sequence as a string sequence. You can take it, your name. You can name the variable, okay? When you implement, you name it as string sequence. Can we use readline.split? Readline.split. Yes, you can. I told you, right? You can combine these two strings. Line number 45, 54 and 55 can be combined. So basically, I need to do odd count plus plus. Increment the value. Do you agree? Line number 60. Do you understand line number 60? Give me +1 if you understand line number 60. No, yes. So earlier what we were doing, when we were finding a number as odd, we were printing the number. Do you agree? We were printing the number. Can we increase count value inside loop? I'll come there. Go on. First, tell me, earlier what we were doing, we were printing the value as odd or not, right? But here, what is the output? In this program, what is the output? One line containing the integer denoting the number of odd numbers in the line input. Are you able to follow? I need to say how many of them are odd number. I do not need to print it. Earlier, when we run, we wanted to print odd, even, odd, even, odd, even, odd, even. No, I do not need to do that. The user is not interested in that. He wants to just know how many of them are odd. So basically, I need to count how many of them are not. So how to count it? I will have to use a variable. I'll initialize with 0, and every time I get the number as odd, I'll increment it as 1, and finally whatever is the value, I'll say that is the number of odd numbers I found, isn't it? Y52 number, line number 52. Line number 52 is just initializing a variable. I'm initializing a variable to 0 so that whenever I find a number, odd number, I'll increment the value to 1. How scoring is done? Cricket scoring board, how it works? You say run is equal to 0 at the start of the match, right? When somebody scores, you increment by 1. Suppose he can score in only singles. Are you able to relate? So this is scoreboard. How many odd numbers I have found? I have found till 0. So when I find it, I'll do +1. Why odd count is initialized to 0? Because initially the count is 0. Number of odd numbers. Because sequence.length is not taught to you. Right now, I have not taught something called length function for array. Okay, when array will be covered, you will understand this. Right now, I'm not complicating things. Count is used to count the numbers. Count the odd numbers. Count is used to count the odd numbers. Okay. Now, do you understand line number 52 and 60? Why it is required? Initially, I'm making the scoreboard as 0. And when I check the number, if it is odd, I'm incrementing by 1. Is it clear? Lot of guys said no, didn't understood. Are you able to understand now? Give me +1, guys, quickly. Yes. Now see, I did it for one number. These operation I did it for one number. I need to do it for 5 times. Do you agree line number 57 to 62 has to be done 5 times? Do you agree? No? Why no? This is for only one number, 8, right? I need to do it for 77, 24, 22, 27, right? All the numbers I have to do. Run it once. I'll complete the program, then run it once. Run for 5 times. Yes, I need to do this calculation of if and not 5 times. So what I will do, I will put a loop in front of it. I'll put a loop in front of it. So for loop, I need to initialize it somewhere. I need to use a variable, right? I need a variable to store the value of I. So let me say, let I can be anything. And here I'll say I is equal to 1. I should be less than equal to how many times I need to run the program? I need to run this for n times. What is the length of this sequence? What is the length of the sequence? I know already, n, right? So I'll have to do it n times. That is n, I plus plus. And everything else has to be done inside this for loop. Now try to see here. I come here, I read the first number. I always read the first number. Do I always need to read the first number? I need to increment this one also. So I should take a variable here also. So I can choose to declare another variable. Let index is equal to 0. Okay. And I can say this value as index. And after reading the index, I can increment the index. Okay. Or I can choose to use I also, same variable, but I'll have to change this one. I'll come there before. Let me dry run this code, okay? Yes, we can use I also, but I wanted to explain why we initially didn't use I, and if we want to use I, what is the changes I need to introduce? I wanted to explain that, okay? So let us dry run this code, okay? Please follow me. I'll dry run this code. So I come here, I read I come here, I increment declare a variable odd is called and make it 0. Then I come, declare a variable n and do a read line. When I read line, I go to the file and read the first line. I read the first line and convert it into %. So it becomes 5. So n will have 5. Do we all agree? Do we all agree n will have 5? Then I go ahead and read line again. When I read line again, basically I read the next line in the file. What is the next line? It is a sequence of number. So basically I get like this, a string with sequence of number. Do you agree? Then I go ahead and split the number from spaces. When I split the numbers in spaces, I get an array of individual number as a string. I get an array with individual number as a string, individual number, but as a string, right? Give me +1 if you are with me till here. Then I go ahead and declare a variable I. This I will be act as a counter to run the for loop, okay? Then I declare another variable index, Y index. This index will tell me on which element I am accessing, which element of array I am accessing. Which element of array I am accessing, index. It will tell me if it is 0, this is the number. If it is 1, this is the number, okay? Do you understand why index is required? Then I go ahead and start a for loop. I need to run the for loop till the length of the sequence. And what is the length of the sequence? length of a sequence is n that we have read in line number 60. I think no need of parsing. Line number 60. Why do you think so? What is the value of this one? What is the value of this one? Sequence index 0. Suppose it will be a string, right? String 8. So we need to convert it into a integer, right? I'll come there. Okay. So index is there. I come here and slice the value I is equal to 1. I is less than 5. N is what? I is equal to 1. And n is what? N is 5. I is 1 is less than 5. Yes. I come inside here. I read the first index. Index is what? 0. Sequence 0. Sequence 0 is what? 8. So my number value is 8. Percent convert into 8. Now num is 8. I checked. Not equal to 0. Num divided by 2 is 0. So this condition doesn't hold true. So I come here and increment the index. When I do increment the index, my index becomes 1, right? My index becomes 1. I'm inside the loop. I increment the I value to 2. And 2 is less than 5. Yes, less than equal to 5. So I come here. I read the second index. Index is what? Index is 2. Index is 1, sorry. So what is the index 1? It is 77. So I'll read 77. I'll read 77 and do a parseInt. When I do a parseInt, it will convert into 77. If I is equal to 0, then we need, yes, I'll come there. Give me some time. So 77, I come here, num modulus 2, 77 modulus 2 not equal to 0. Yes, it is not equal to 0. So I increment the odd count. What is odd count right now? 0. So I increment to 1. Right? Again, I go here, increment the index becomes 2. I come here, I becomes 3. And check, 3 is less than 5. Yes, 3 is less than equal to 5. So I'll come here. My index is 3 now. My index is 2 now, sorry. So second index, this one, 24. So I'll read 24, convert it into 24, right? 24 modulus 2. Yes, it is modulus 2 is 0. So this condition doesn't hold true. So I'll leave odd count to that. I'll increment the index. Index will go to 3. And I will become 4. I come here, 4 is less than equal to 5. Yes. To check index, we have to go out of the loop. No, I'm not going out of the loop. Index is a variable that is accessible here also, right? I'm just telling you, just marking here. It is not going here and incrementing the value. It is inside the loop only. The flow is inside the loop. Don't get confused here, okay? I'm not going outside the loop. I just wanted to mark something like index. What is the value of index? That's why. It is inside the loop, okay? Odd count is not defined. I defined here. You must have not defined it. So what is the index now? Index is 22 now, okay? 4. Index is 22. In this 3. So I read it. So I get 22. I convert it into 22, right? Then I come here. 22 modulus 2 is 2. Yes. So I leave the odd count to 1 and I increment the index. Index become 5 and 4 and I become 5. 5 is less than equal to 5. Yes. I come here and read the next number. What is the next number? 27 as a string. I convert 27 to integer. ParseInt 27. I come here 27 modulus 2 not 0. So I'll increment the counter to 2. I come here, increment the index. I go in the loop. Now I become 6. 6 less than equal to 5. No, the condition is false. So I come out of the loop. When I come out of the loop, basically I need to print the count, right? Console.log count value, odd count value. Sir, please close the terminal now. We see the whole code. Okay, I'll close the terminal. You try by vertical line, okay? You try it. We have already tried that. I have run the code also here. This is the vertical line. If the input was present in new line, sequence is present in new line, how to do it? This is the code that we did. Let me paste it here, okay? Step 60 once more. Step 60. Where is 60? Line number 60. 60. This converts the sequence. Very simple, right? It reads sequence 0, index start from 0 to n, and it converts it. So this is first number first. 8 will be the first value. It converts into 8. And then num is checked with %2. Let me run this program. So node, what is the name of this program? Test 33. Input file is input 3. So 2 is what I got, right? 2 is what expected output. Do we all agree in the same page? Any doubt here? What will happen if I put index inside the if? If I put index inside the if, what do you mean by that? Index should not be inside the if. Acha, this one inside the if, huh? Line number 60. Okay, I'll paste the code. So one more thing I want to quickly cover here, that if I change my I in such a way that index runs in similar way, then I can remove index value. So think about it. Try by yourself. If I make it 0 and run it less than n, then I do not need this index. I do not need this index, right? In this case, my I will do my task like this. Index will not be required, right? This statement is not required. See, I'll run this program again. Node test 33. If you have doubt on this, we'll do it in the next class, okay? I have consumed my time. Put 3. See, same output. But here I choose to do the counting in such a way that I can use I for counting the index also. Nothing more than that. What if I put inside line number 66? If then I gets incremented only for odd numbers. If it is inside this for loop, I gets incremented for only odd numbers. Try to understand. When this condition is true, then only I gets incremented. No, I need to increment it for all numbers. So if it is even, I will not increment. I'll keep on here, and it will all count will be equal to 0, right? It will not get incremented if this is inside the for loop, inside the if. Abhishek, did you got it? Yes. Okay. Okay, guys, we'll stop here. Any doubt, I'll take it in the next class, and we'll do while loop in the next class. Okay, so do join. I'll convert the same program in while first, and then we'll do a new program. Okay, we'll stop here because in an hour we have another class. Thanks everyone. Thanks for joining. Hope you are able to understand. Yes. Mr. Rakesh. This message I am able to see. Before this, did you paste it anything? Before this, I was not able to see your message. I cannot see your message before this. Okay, guys, let's meet in the next class. Thanks. Bye.